Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to tonight's fancy hobo event, the Exquisite Hobo Project. I am Tony Tirico. I'm going to be your host for this evening. Now, if you're tuning in tonight is not going to be one of our typical improv shows. No, no, no. Tonight, we are doing something very, very special. Tonight, we are doing a live reading of a brand new screenplay written by the members of our company, Fancy Hobo. A few weeks ago, our writers began working on a screenplay using the Exquisite Corpse format. This format was originally created by the sketch group Old English. Now you might be asking yourself, what is an exquisite corpse? Is that just an immaculate dead body? Well, yes, it is that, but it is also a format for a group to collaborate on a piece of writing together. The Exquisite Corpse is when writers come together to write a script section by section. The first writer begins by writing 5 pages and they send it off to the next writer to complete the next section. However, there is one big catch to this. Each writer in the sequence only gets the very last page of the previous writer's work to go off of. So we might see characters completely disappear. We might see writing styles change drastically. And with all of those sections combined together that we have finished now, we have come together to make one insane Frankenstein's monster of a script. And that tonight is going to be read and performed by the writers with the assistance of some additional members of our company. So let's get things started. Let's introduce our writers and performers for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, our first section, the writer who started this project off with a literal bang, the magnificent Holly Scott. Holly, who are you playing tonight?
Hi, everybody. I am not going to say who I'm playing tonight. It is a secret.
Ooh.
So I will let you know when it comes. But I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for being here, everybody.
Amazing. Our next section is written, and it is bold and brash. It is written by no other than the unreal Joey Bush.
Hey guys, my name's Joey Bush. I'm Unreal, and I'm playing. Well, I'm not playing Unreal, but I'm playing Gladys, and I'm playing Raisin.
Amazing. Our next section is. This is where we make all your anime dreams come true. It's written by the remarkable Jose Orozco. Jose.
How's it going? How's it going? Jose here. I'm playing the driver and Kuzi.
Excellent. Our fourth section, where the proverbial shit hits the fan. That is right. It's written by the mind-boggling Nasaka Malimba.
Hello. Tonight I will be reading Lucille, Granny, and Smalls.
Amazing, amazing. Our fifth section. This spirals our script into a completely different fantasy genre. It's written by the formidable Robert Hager.
Good morning. I will be playing police officer Andraz.
Yes, yes, yes. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And finally, our ending section, which is way more satisfying than the ending of Game of Thrones, but then again, what isn't, is written by the miraculous Phil Nieto.
Hello, everyone. I will be playing the parts of Samson and Princess Camellia.
And now, to introduce some of our players who are going to be reading characters for us tonight and performing additional characters, it's the one, the only, the prodigious Brandon Burns.
Oh, prodigious, so kind. And hello, and I'll be playing the role of Draggle, D-R-A-G-G-L-E.
Draggle is him. He is Draggle. And now we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Andrew Long.
Hey, everybody. Tonight I'm going to be playing the Professor and Cassius.
Excellent. And a woman who can only be described as sublime. That's right. It is Sierra Siegel.
Hi. I'm going to be playing Chris and another police officer.
Amazing, amazing. So that is our cast for the evening. All of tonight's action and tonight's stage direction are going to be read by me, Tony. Now, before we get things started, I just want to give y'all a quick reminder. So since we are no longer performing in a theater currently, these shows are completely free to you, but we are taking any donations that you can give our company. So if you'd like to make a donation tonight, you can make them using the Venmo app and send all donations to @FancyHoboImprov. That is @FancyHoboImprov. We really appreciate any donations that you can make at this time. All right, performers, writers, are we ready to get this show on the road?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Do it. So now everyone, please sit back and enjoy The Exquisite Hobo, written and performed by the members of Fancy Hobo. Page 1. Interior, bedroom, daytime. The skies are cloudy outside the bedroom window of Chris Galliant, an underachiever who has not gotten out of bed yet. The alarm clock in the room drones on and has droned for way longer than it should have. Chris swipes at the clock, but misses terribly. The clock slams onto the floor and finally stops.
Well, that worked.
Chris slides out from under the covers and onto the floor. He saunters slowly to the dresser and looks where the mirror once was, but realizes there is no mirror, as it has been broken for a few years.
Yeah, I'm just gonna assume that I look fine.
Chris grabs his backpack and looks at the upside down clock on the floor. It reads 12:45 p.m.
Well, I guess I'm not going to that class.
Cut 2, interior classroom, daytime. The class is in session. The professor is lecturing.
So when the Mesopotamian civilization ended, the Sumerians became the dominant power in the world at the time.
All of a sudden, without warning, a giant flash is seen outside the classroom, followed by a large shockwave. Everyone in the class immediately stands up to see what is going on, and the shockwave decimates them to ashes. The entire building is reduced to smoldering rubble. An ominous smoky fog surrounds the area where the class once was. Fade to black. Exterior, outside Chris's house, evening. A bleary-eyed Chris, in still what is arguably his pajamas, opens the door to his garage, backpack in tow. He clearly has no sense as to what is going on. On his street, a few neighbors, Lucille and Gladys, chat.
Morning, ladies.
It's just terrible. I mean, an entire school up and destroyed. But think of the terrible loss of life, huh?
I just know.
The two women look at Chris as if they've seen a ghost, not realizing that he never went to class on the day of the destruction.
Are y'all okay? What's going on?
How are you still alive?
Wow, I'm hurt, Lucille. I know I'm a slacker, but that doesn't mean I'm suicidal. I'm just lazy. Jeez.
Exterior, the former location of campus, evening. Chris walks up to that area that once was Everdale University, but now is just one giant crater.
What the?
Chris ducks under the placed but unmanned caution tape and proceeds to walk onto campus. Nothing is left but rubble. There are no signs that this was once a bustling hotbed of this now former college town.
Well, there goes my tuition money.
Chris surveys the damage until he hears a voice from behind him. It is a local police officer.
Hey, you, what do you think you're doing? This is a disaster scene.
No, it's cool. I go here.
Kid, I don't care if you are the dean. There is no here. Now get back over here and get lost. We don't know what's going on.
Okay, I'll go. Jeez.
As Chris is walking, he sees a shiny rock lying on the ground behind a bush. It's clearly a fragment of a bigger piece of something. He looks to see that the police officer has turned slightly away to address another issue. In that moment, Chris grabs the rock and stashes it in his pocket just as the officer turns back.
Let's go. I don't have all day.
Chris ducks back under the tape and heads on his way home, rock in tow. Interior, Chris's room, evening. The door slams open and Chris tosses his backpack haphazardly across the room onto the broken vanity. He then walks over and pushes the backpack aside and places the glowing rock down. He stares at it as he reaches for his weed pipe, which is placed in his top drawer.
Huh. What are you, a meteor? Maybe some of that glass that's formed when a bomb goes off. I guess I actually remembered something from a class.
As Chris starts to spark his weed, the rock begins to shake. Chris stops with his lighter still aflame. He puts the lighter out and the rock stops. He lights the lighter again and the rock dances even harder. He puts the flame right up to the rock and it bounces very haphazardly, eventually falling off the vanity.
Well, it seems like you don't like fire so much, huh?
Chris takes the rock in hand for a second and realizes it's ice cold. He drops it and it breaks apart, filling the room with a giant cloud. A figure appears in the cloud.
Onoi! Lanu lanu dilo pepe!
Wow, this weed is amazing. I haven't even hit it yet.
Lanu!
The figure comes into view. It looks at Chris, and Chris looks back as he begins to spark the weed again. The figure emits a beam and vaporizes the lighter.
What? Holy shit, what was that for?
The figure analyzes the sound of Chris's voice and realizes what language he is speaking.
Oh, thank Lanu. Earth English. I was beginning to think I was on a language-less planet.
What is happening here?
You have freed me from my vessel. I was trapped inside.
Okay, who are you?
I'm Ross, the Seeker. I've been sent to find the one true champion.
Well, Ross, I think you missed your mark by a few light years because you ended up with me. I am no champion.
Not possible.
Well, it's true. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Chris pulls out another lighter from the bedside table, and Ross immediately vaporizes that too.
None of that, champion. Flames are not befitting of a champion.
Look, I am not a champion. I am a college student and a bad one at that. Now, please stop 86ing my lighters.
You open my vessel. Only a true champion can open the vessel. Therefore, you are the champion. It's written in the great tomes.
Chris points to the stack of unopened textbooks on the floor.
Clearly, I don't read any great tomes, so head out and find another champion.
Ross is undeterred. He blasts a beam at Chris, but this time, instead of vaporizing him, he changes Chris into the suit of a champion. It's ill-fitting because it was clearly meant for a female shape. Chris looks for a second and immediately covers his manly bits.
Well, this is unexpected.
At that moment, Raisin, Chris's roommate, enters and sees Ross and Chris. Chris is horrified that Raisin is seeing him like this, but apparently Raisin totally gets it.
Chris! I knew it! I knew it since the first I saw you on campus. You're the one true fucking champion, Chris!
Chris starts to take the armor off and puts his normal clothes back on.
Look, I don't know what the fuck is going on here or how. Wait, do you two know each other?
Yeah, that's Ross.
Yeah, that's Raisin.
Listen, now that you have Ross and me on this together, we got like 2/4 of the puzzle to go.
What?
You really aren't picking up on this. Ugh. Look,
You
I'll
really
explain
aren't
more on the
picking
way, but we got to get to the nature trail near the lake. That's where we're going to meet up with Koozie and Draggle. They're the other half of our equation. And then with the 5 of us, Ross, Koozie, and Draggle, and me and you, I think we can pull this off.
You're gonna have to give me a second to change real quick, and then you're gonna have to give me more info than that before I just take off with you and Ross to some nature trail up by the lake.
There is no time to explain.
Ross, I got this.
Ross gets close to Chris.
Listen, if you don't do this, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I thought you said you had this thing handled.
I do, bitch. I wasn't playing around. Get your bitch ass shoes, preferably ones you can walk a little in, and we're getting the fuck out of here. Because Ross is right. We're running out of time, and if
We hear footsteps coming down the hallway, a knock at the door. Vross vanishes, and Raisin dives under the bed. Samson, the RA, who takes his job very seriously, enters.
Excuse me, Chris. What is all this yelling I've been hearing?
To be honest, I am not quite sure.
You're not sure.
I was just playing video games with my friends online and things got heated. You know how it is.
I see. Well, carry on with your night, Chris. I do hope I don't have to speak with you about any more issues in the future.
Samson gives a brief survey and walkover of the room, just to be sure, then leaves. Raisin crawls back out from under the bed, and Vross reappears.
Fucking Samson, man.
Raisin.
That's what I was gonna say. We can't let anybody go snooping around, especially that creep Sanson. If anyone knows what we're up to, it's just bad news.
Our mission must continue in secret. Chris, you may not tell anyone of this.
Can you explain what it is we're doing?
Bitch!
He just said this.
Thank you, Ross. I just said we'll explain on our way.
Now that you are ready, do you understand what you must do, one true champion?
No!
Well, we'll explain on the way.
Fade out. Exterior, the lake, evening. Chris, Raisin, and Vross walk up to and settle down at a bench by the lake, walking and talking all along the way.
And that's why we got to bring you all the way out here to the special bench near the lake. Pretty soon, Koozie and Draggle will be here.
Chris begins to take out a joint. He puts it in his mouth and begins to raise a lighter to the joint. Vross shoots a beam and zaps his lighter.
God fucking damn it, Ross. That was my last lighter.
I got one here. Hang on.
Thank you.
Raisin lights Chris's joint. Vross doesn't zap Raisin, to the ire of Chris. As Chris goes to say something, Raisin puts a joint in Chris's mouth. Chris puffs, then silence.
So, now what?
Just wait.
Something doesn't feel quite right.
What? What is it?
I'm not quite sure.
Real cryptic shit there, Vross.
When are the others getting here?
They should be here soon. You got to calm down.
I'm not so sure about that.
Starting to get sick of your cryptic ass shit, Vross.
Can you contact Koozie and Draggle?
Yeah, let me call them.
Raisin dials Draggle's phone.
Hello, this is Draggle. I'm not able to get to the phone right now, but leave a message at the beep and I'll call you right back. Holla!
He didn't pick up.
Call Koozie.
Raisin dials Koozie. Koozie answers. We hear him breathing very hard.
Koozie, done.
I got him on the phone.
I can see Koozie running towards us.
Is that him running all the way up there?
Koozie, is that you running all the way up there?
I'm coming!
We know. We got the one true champion and Vross here. So we have 3 out of the 5 of us. But Draggle, I just keep getting the voicemail.
He's not far behind. I don't know about Draggle.
Did he say someone else isn't far behind?
Where is Draggle?
Something is wrong.
Who is behind Koozie?
You guys better get going fast.
What's going on?
Koozie, who is behind you?
Koozie joins the group.
He followed you guys here.
Son of a bitch.
Fucking
Samson.
Then man.
We hear a voice in the distance. It's Samson.
You fools thought that you could actually escape?
A loud screech followed by a bright yellow flash. Samson appears.
I am the mighty Samson. You shall all heal before my power.
I tried to warn you guys.
This isn't good.
Ross, what are you thinking, man? What's the plan?
We have to get out of here.
We
Samson
must
responds.
flee.
I'm not running anywhere.
You can't face him.
We'll fight together.
Ross, surely all of us, plus the champion, could.
No, not without Drago. It's too risky. Mama Yaba foretold that the champion would need the combined powers of the four of us to defeat Samson's evil. We still don't know what this guy can do.
Oh, so it's only the concept of my unknown power that frightens you? Old man, you insult me. No matter. You shall learn soon enough.
Does this guy ever shut up?
This man is death.
What is this guy talking about, Ross?
We have to find Drago. There needs to be 5 hobos. We must do what Mama Yaba told us. We must stick to the plan.
Ross is right.
That's all well and good, but our 5th hobo is AWOL, and we have a superhuman murderer psychopath in front of us. This guy, he's not just going to let us go.
You do well to heed the simpleton's words.
Samson starts to glow. We hear a low buzzing noise.
Ross?
I see it.
Simpleton.
Looks like we're out of time.
Right.
We need to get away. We need a distraction.
Prepare yourselves.
Lightning crackles and flashes. Samson takes a crouched attack position.
Get ready.
Damn!
Here he comes.
They crouch to ready a counterattack.
You will know fear.
Samson launches himself at the group.
Oxblood!
Chris raises his fists and purple light flashes. Chris's fists start glowing as he intercepts Samson's attack and counters with his own.
Impressive.
He overpowers Chris's counterattack with an arm twist.
A true champion.
Ah, damn!
Chris is flung back, crashes into the wall.
Champion!
Such raw strength!
No way, did this guy really just outmuscle Chris without even reciting his power call?
Don't hesitate. We must act quickly. Snakeskin!
Red light flashes. Vross's hands begin to glow. He attacks Samson with multiple high-speed strikes. Samson easily dodges them all.
Tales of your skills have truly undersold your power, old man. People today simply have no respect.
Samson launches Vross across the space.
Ross! No!
Such frightening speed!
He took out our 2 best like they were nothing.
I don't think escaping from this monster is an option any longer. His speed and power are too great, and without Ross or the champion, we have no shot!
I guess this is it then.
All of a sudden, a voice is heard from behind them.
Not too fast, losers. The fat lady ain't singing just yet.
Loud rumbling. Green light flashes. A large armored train car suddenly comes barreling on, whistle blowing, and crashes into Samson.
Holy hell!
Wait, is that?
Chris gets up and groggily walks to the others.
Guys, what's going on? Where's Samson?
A figure emerges from the wreckage.
Draggle?
Is that straight, jabronis? Hobo number 5 is in the building. Coming at you hot and ready. What up, players?
Draggle, where have you been?
You incompetent oaf! Do you realize how much danger your little disappearing act has put us in? Why did you abandon the mission?
Whoa. Cool your jets, jacuzzi, baby. It was all part of my plan. I figured the artillery guns, the battle train's caboose would come in handy, so I doubled back for it. I raced here ready to blast old Sammy Boy to dust, but the gun's jammed, so I figured I'd just crash the thing straight into the SOB and use my turtle shell power to shield myself from harm. Pretty smart, huh?
It won't be enough.
What? What do you mean? I nailed him dead on. Got him square on his face.
It doesn't matter. He was able to take both my Oxblood and Ross's snakeskin attacks head on without breaking a sweat. It won't be enough.
Your champion speaks truth, Hobo.
Emerging from the wreckage, Samson glows and crackles with yellow light, a smile on his face.
No way! I nailed him!
This guy is unreal.
Is that really all you hobos have to offer? I grow bored. If this is truly the extent of your abilities, then I'm afraid we've reached the end. Hawk Talon!
He raises his hands into an outstretched claw. Yellow light flashes. His hands begin to glow.
Your power may be greater than ours, but you've made one fatal mistake.
Draggle was never our ace in the hole.
I was just a distraction.
Release lizard scales.
He cracks his fingers as orange light flashes. His eyes glow. Ross gets back to his feet. The glowing light from Samson's hand dissipates as he is struck and rendered paralyzed, falling with a grunt.
Let's wrap this up. Spider legs!
Blue light flashes. Kuzi's legs glow. He stretches his arms across to Ross and pulls him to the group.
Thanks for the rescue, Kuzi. Nice job setting that invisibility field, Raisin. Way to sell it, Draggle.
No sweat, boss. This guy isn't going anywhere.
Just had to stick to Mama Yaba's plan, right?
You know, I'm a little hurt by how easily this guy believed I'm an idiot. Well, I guess he couldn't help it. I'm just that great of an actor. A turtle shell! Oh!
A green flash of light. His arms glow. The group becomes surrounded by a force field.
This is your opening, champion. Quickly, while still paralyzed by my snakeskin. You must strike now.
Time to pay back all the pain you've caused, Samson.
Get him, champ. Do it for Mama Yaba.
No mercy. Show him what we hobos are made of.
Full charge Oxblood!
A purple light flashes. Chris slams his glowing fists into the ground, creating a titanic shockwave, blasting the paralyzed Samson and dropping tons of rubble on top of them. Once the dust settles,
Spider legs!
blue light flashes. His arms stretch out, and he pulls the group out of the debris.
Good work, hobos. Mission complete.
I must commend you, hobos. You have all truly exceeded my expectations.
A loud rumbling is felt. A bright white light begins to shine, and Samson bursts forth from beneath the rubble.
Impossible. How can he still be standing? The plan.
And what a valiant plan it was. You all managed to inflict actual pain on me. For the slightest moment, I even felt fear. It was exhilarating. Now, champion, hobos, allow me to demonstrate my true power.
His entire body is enveloped by light.
Behold, my hidden ability, the power to manipulate time and space, to move beyond the confines of this reality. I shall open a door to a new world.
He spreads out his arms.
The time has come. pale horse.
A blinding flash occurs as blinding white light emanates from Samson's entire body. Time and space begin to accelerate exponentially. The fabric of reality begins to melt away, then spring back together. Everything is engulfed in white. And that is our halfway point in the script. We have officially hit halfway point, so I think it's time for a brief little intermission to get reactions from our writers. So, any of you first three that wrote this first half of the scripts, thoughts so far on how things are going, how things are flowing, how the story is coming together? Why don't we start with Holly, the person who wrote the first section?
Yeah, so far it's just as bonkers as I thought it was going to be. In the chat, we had Hero is watching. He wrote, "This is the best episode of Dragon Ball Z I've seen in decades."
Yes.
I couldn't agree more, Hero. I think I didn't write any whatsoever. I maybe put a little bit of Magical Girl in there, but like the other two kind of like took it and like, know what? Nah, we're gonna do Dragon Ball to the finest. So I'm happy for that, and just wait for the next half because it's gonna be super bonkers.
I can't wait for it. Joey, you wrote the second section of this first half. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I wrote this just because, you know, my mindset was like, okay, I'm the second person, so I don't know how much exactly I can do for the plot other than to get us in a different location. So I tried to like set up a thing for the third person to do. And I also just gave some ridiculous character names like Raisin and Draggle and Koozie. And I didn't want to play Raisin. I was hoping someone else would get cast as Raisin, but you know what? I love him. I can't hate a character that I wrote.
This is true. Jose, what about you? You wrote the last section in this first half. What do you think?
So I definitely my game plan was like I can't really introduce any new characters, I don't think. I kind of wanted to just flesh out the ones we had. I felt like we had a pretty good little core cast, and I was like, okay, I gotta start making moves here. And I just went super wild, off the wall, crazy with it, just because, you know. And I took inspiration from the stuff that, like, at my core, my little child inside, all those old anime cartoons and things that I would watch, just like craziness. But it's fun. It's super fun.
You can hear it in your writing. My personal favorite is Turtle Shell Power.
Hey,
absolutely incredible.
Joey says he didn't want to play his character because, like, I when I was writing Koozie, I also thought, oh man, he's kind of a whiny baby. I don't want to play him. And then sure enough,
there you go.
But you know, it's all good.
To be fair, you guys had a chance to like say, I don't want to play this character when we were casting.
No, that's lame.
I love Raisin.
Yeah.
How can you hate something that you create? I don't know. Ask a parent, I guess. So before we get started,
Dark, Tony. Oh my
God. We get it. You hate kids.
Before we get started with the second half, we want to give you a quick reminder that we are taking donations of anything that you can afford to give our company. So if you'd like to make a donation, you can make them using Venmo and send all donations to @FancyHoboImprov. Again, we truly appreciate any donations that you can make. So now, part 2. The dramatic conclusion of Exquisite Hobo, written and performed by the members of Fancy Hobo. Ross continues to hack while doubled over in pain.
Can you continue?
Not dead yet.
Do we have a choice? Do you see an off button? An escape hatch? Over it.
Ross, tell us what you need.
This mission is not complete. I need us to complete it.
As Vross straightens, the hobos begin sinking into the whiteness below their feet, as into quicksand.
Unimpressed, Sammy boy.
The sinking quickens.
Could you not antagonize them?
You're ugly.
The hobos are now waist deep. Koozie glares at Raisin, then dives forward into the nothing sand and vanishes.
Let's finish this.
Vross backflops into the whiteness and groans. The nothing sand fills their mouths as they disappear.
Fine.
Raisin pours handful after handful of nothing sand over their head. When the sand settles, they're gone, and the space is filled with Samson's laughter. Exterior, Eularpa, day. Golden light illuminates a sherbert sky of the metropolis of floating city blocks. A mishmash of vehicles from every age of recorded history glide driverless through the air. Eularpians are joyfully engaged in the everyday activities of a thriving community. Hovering 1950 styles billboard depicting happy Eularpians enjoying life bear sunny credos like happiness is health and love, laughter, longevity. An iguana-faced patrol person wearing rocket boots and fairy wings pulls up to the window of a stretch steam engine paddle boat.
Hi, officer. Did I have a misery moment back there?
You tell me a resource drain was registered and the sad pants is in this vehicle. Love your jaw hoppers.
Officer zooms around the vehicle like a coked up taking readings from several points on a pen dispenser.
What a lovely thing to say. Not to throw anyone under the bus, Granny.
All billboards change to collection or correction. The city falls silent. Everyone on the street turns to look in the direction of the stopped vehicle, smiles frozen on their faces. Building windows are now filled with frozen, smiling faces. Officer raise a hole into the vehicle, revealing Granny, a 10-year-old Siamese cat in a Lolita dress.
Higher than an old lady, officer. Before a thought landed in my brain and I didn't flick it away fast enough, I have collected.
Good. Glad Granny's not a grumpy Gus. We'd hate to lose you to correction.
Laughter is longevity.
Exterior, Pale Horse Park, day. As Granny speaks, Officer seals a hole and Eularpia returns to normal. The hobos, lifeless and translucent, are burped up onto the blue grass knoll at the edge of Pale Horse Park, several yards ahead of the vehicle. Blissed out Eularpians picnic around them, undisturbed by their arrival. Samson's laughter fills the air. The Eularpians are shocked, scared momentarily, and then join in. The hobos solidify, dressed as American gladiators. The raucous ruckus wakes the hobos, then dies as they come to, and the Eularpians return to normal.
Check-in.
Spider legs. Nope.
Samson's world and rules. However, will we feel special now? Oh, funky population. I like it. Samson's dossiers on us are complete.
That's what worries me. Our profiles are classified.
Wow. What is that?
We have a mission to complete.
A sentient being of this realm. Let's not piss off the natives by staring.
See the sign?
Raisin and Koozie take in the park's name and exchange weary glances.
Back to the mission. How we find and disable Samson here.
Hobos synchronize their AG watches, nod to each other, then stalk purposefully away to explore this new world. Montage. Interior mall of Eularpia, day. Vross observes shoppers leaving stores with every item imaginable. Out-of-stock items are replaced in an instant. Patrons queue to have items bagged and pay with compliments. Exterior, all auto mart, day. Raisin window shopping and test driving several vehicles. The dealer senses Raisin's satisfaction with the last vehicle, jumps out and waves bye-bye. Interior, Lux Lofts, day. Koozie looking at various dwelling styles with a housing agent. Koozie gets really excited while describing their ideal home. Exterior, Eularpian flyway, day. Raisin zooms in and out of traffic, drags, drifts, performs parking stunts, etc. Cut to interior, Koozy's loft, day. Koozy splashing about in an enormous Art Deco tub while their bath toys reenact the Battle of Midway. Pouts and throws toys when their watch goes off. The battle stops, all toys turn to Koozy and fire. End of montage. Exterior, Pale Horse, Fountain Cafe, day. Vross and Raisin eating ice cream while waiting for Koozy.
Koozy got in ahead of us? Impressive.
Let's do this.
They finish their ice cream and then brawl. Cut to interior, Correctional Center, night. The hobos are naked, ruddy, shining, and suspended in a sapphire cave from a spider's web of gold.
Trigger the ending already. Pretty sure that German Shepherd was Samson. Enjoyed the pain and pamper a little too much.
The web vibrates.
Oh, pretty sure the spider will be too. Sorry, Koozy.
We're in this realm without our abilities, but we are still able. We have never failed a mission, and we won't start now. Let's do this.
Guess who remembers what Pale Horse is?
I take back every unkind but true thing I've ever thought about you. Trigger it!
Koozy is no longer stuck and is doing backflips while laughing.
Koozy!
Looks like Koozy is frozen in the space-time continuum right now.
Koozy, no!
Koozy says, echoes, trust me. Hey, Samson, I get you game. Koozy does their best Esther Williams off the web. The spider is coming. Vross and Raisin shrug, then do exactly what Koozy did, diving as Spider Samson fills the screen. Samson's sinister laugh is all that remains as the world dissolves. Interior, castle, main hall, night. Vross and Raisin crash to the ground, taking the wind right out of them. Everything is a bit hazy, and they don't know where they are.
Ow.
The ending.
They never listen to me. It's all about form when you jump realms. Here, let me show you.
Ah, yes. That is excellent form.
The sound of Koozy's voice helps them regain their composure and take in their surroundings. They are in a brightly lit grand hall of a typical medieval castle. Koozy is laughing with a tall, well-built, handsome man, Cassius. Cassius is wearing a full plate armor with a shield on his back and a sword on the hip.
Koozy! Do you have the Pale Horse?
I'm glad to see you're okay too. And yes, I do.
Raisin breathes a sigh of relief as Cassius sticks out his hand. Vross shakes it.
I'm so sorry. Where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Sir Cassius Montebello, and this is my home.
My name is Vross.
Damn it, Koozy! This is not the ending. I told you to trigger the ending, and you messed it up more. You messed it up again. You make everything you touch worse.
Ouch. I thought you were taking back everything mean you said about me.
I did, and now I'm starting anew.
You have a temper, my friend. You do not need to worry. You're safe as long as you're safe, as long as you're behind these walls. You have my word. First things first, you are my guests, and I prefer my guests not to be naked. Run up! Ropes, now!
A moment passes where the three naked hobos and the knight say nothing. Ronald, a bald, bowing servant, rushes into the room with robes. He hands the hobos their robes and then rushes off.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but we don't have time to waste. Where are we? We're on a mission, and we need to get to the ending.
Rude.
Like I told you before, friend, you're in my home. This is Montebello Keep. My grandfather.
This is not the ending. Where am I?
Vross steps in front of Raisin to try and handle this bit a bit more smoothly.
I'm deeply sorry about my friend Raisin. We're all on edge here. You see, we are on a mission. A powerful demon named Samson is trying to destroy.
Samson, you know of him.
Yeah, we're buddies.
Buddies.
So don't mind him.
If you speak again, I'm gonna rip your leg off. And I'm
Silence!
Cassius rushes to a window and looks out to the night sky.
Did he follow you here? I must warn my men and get them ready for the upcoming battle.
How do you know Samson?
I am the head of an ancient order. I too have a mission to protect all the realms from Samson and his corruption. We have spent a century standing in his way. My father and his father before him. I have trained my whole life for this. I am a Samson knight.
Thank God. We have been through hell and back. We need some good news.
This still isn't the ending.
I'll get you to your ending, I promise. Now, I must wake my men and get them ready for the upcoming battle.
Cassius is interrupted by the sound of beating wings. He sticks his head out the window again. A stream of fire erupts into the main hall. The three hobos manage to leap out of the way in time and only get slightly singed. Cassius is not so lucky. He is a pile of ash.
Found you!
A giant yellow eye fills the window. It is the eye of Dragon Samson.
Where is Pale Horse? Give it to me.
Trigger the ending now.
I was wrong. I thought I got his game.
You can't. He'll come with us again if I do.
I can hear you.
Raisin and Kuzi start running for the entrance. Vross sticks out his hand. A bolt of green lightning shoots out from Vross's hand and strikes Samson in the eye. Samson screams and pulls away from the window.
Our abilities are back! My abilities are back!
Come on, Vross, we gotta go!
Did you see that? I got him right in the eye.
Vross runs over to Raisin and they exit together. Exterior, Montebello Keep, front hall, night. Vross and Raisin barrel out of the castle and into the night. They are in an open field. Kuzi is quite a bit ahead of them, running and somersaulting for some trees in the distance.
Kuzi, wait for us, you fool!
Samson roars behind them.
I hate hobos!
They both chase after Kuzi.
Use your abilities. If mine are back, so are yours.
It'll only slow him down. We need to trigger the ending.
Screw the ending. If Samson gets his hand on Pale Horse, we're finished.
I'm coming for you, hobos, and I am hungry.
Samson's voice continues to draw nearer. Kuzi makes it to the edge of the forest and rushes it right in, not looking back at his friends. Raisin and Vross make it to the edge of the forest and rush in, hiding themselves amongst the trees. And looking back to see where Samson is, Kuzi is nowhere to be seen.
Kuzi, where are you, you dummy?
Never mind him. He'll either turn up or he won't.
You can't hide from me, you filthy hobos. I smell you.
Raisin and Vross hear the sounds of a twig snapping behind them and whirl around in a panic. Out steps a man in a bright red tunic with a dark, full mustache. He smiles and spreads his arms wide.
Oh, you old rogue! How are you?
Smalls? Smalls? What are you doing here? I haven't seen you since our days back on the farm.
Smalls and Vross fiercely embrace.
You look well. Princess Camilla sent me here to warn you that Samson was looking for you. But it appears you already know that. She also sent me to help you fight.
It's about time that we had something go our way. We need a plan to trigger the ending.
What is the ending?
Vross unslings a gigantic crossbow off their back that has most definitely been there this whole time, and pulls a huge bolt out of a massive quiver, which has also been there this entire time.
It's this troll crossbow we found in the dungeons. It can take Samson down with a single shot, but we don't have the strength to cock it.
I keep telling him, if we can't find Pale Horse and keep it safe, the ending doesn't matter.
Suddenly, Kuzi comes tumbling out of a dark bit of the forest, holding a leather strap.
Looks like I can help on both counts.
The leather strap begins to slacken as a beautiful white mare slowly enters the light. Vross and Raisin's eyes widen and mouths drop agape in surprise. Sex doll faces.
Kuzi, you found her!
Pale Horse! Things are finally turning our way. But where's your rider?
Ryder?
Well, yeah, your rider.
Raisin and Vross exchange a look.
You know.
Gods, you thought I was that pale horse? You idiots. But I suppose all pale horses look the same to you, don't they?
Well, I didn't say that.
Oh yeah, look at the light-colored horse that must be the one Death rides in on, in a metaphor of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, because there couldn't possibly be any other colored horses in the world.
No, all right, okay. There are so many horses.
I'm pretty sure the 4 horsemen are allegorical, not
I'm
metaphorical.
actually pretty sure they're allegorical, not metaphorical. That's what you sound like. Whatever. I also have a name. I'm not just referred to as a physical descriptor and my species, because that would be weird now, wouldn't it? Floppy-haired human, adorable halfling, and stupid-faced human.
While Kuzi grins widely, Vross and Raisin look at each other, trying to puzzle out which is floppy-haired and which is stupid-faced. After a brief moment, they seem to both conclude that Raisin is pretty floppy-haired, so Vross must be stupid-faced. Vross begins to raise a finger and object, but Raisin quickly speaks over top.
Now see here.
Of course, you're right, and we must apologize. I'm Raisin. And my stupid-faced companion here is Vross. And you already know Kuzi, I presume, and you are.
Pale Horse pulls herself up regally. As she speaks, the camera zooms in. Slowly, the edges of the focus darken, and her voice begins to boom with reverb. Everything snapbacks to normal for the final word.
My name is the one that has been invoked throughout the long millennia of mankind. It has shattered kingdoms and mended broken hearts. It has lifted men up and thrown them down in the mud. It is a name known to all men, from the greatest leader to the smallest child. Without me, men wither and die. My name is friendship.
The looks of awe on Vross and Raisin's face slowly turn to confusion. Kuzi, with a huge self-satisfied grin, reaches up and strokes the side of Friendship's nose.
I'm confused. Why would it be so bad for Samson to get his hands on a horse named Friendship? Because it seems like he could use a friend.
Exactly. If Samson captured friendship, he could twist and corrupt friendship into whatever that means in his twisted mind. Or worse yet, he could kill friendship, leaving the whole world alone and isolated, like him.
We need to protect friendship.
We need to protect friendship. I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment. I do. But it's just so whiny.
Okay. I have a plan.
There is a loud crash nearby. Samson has reached the forest.
I'm gonna eat you, hobos. I smell you.
Don't worry, guys. I'll run back across the field toward the keep. Put a stop sound so you guys go and get your plan ready.
Smalls! I completely forgot you even existed. Yes, please do that.
Smalls gives a grim nod to Raisin and a wink to Vross.
Well, we'll celebrate when we get back to the keep. I believe in you guys. We're all counting on you.
Smalls turns and runs off screen, presumably in the direction of the castle.
Anyway, like I was saying. I got a plan.
Montage scene begins. The music is Be a Man from Mulan. But every time it says the title line, Be a Man, it is replaced with Be a Horse and features a shot of friendship doing something to help. We see the crew in the forest using friendship's strength to cock the giant troll crossbow. The ending. Using friendship to pull down small trees that they sharpen into stakes and place in order to herd Samson into a spot where they can shoot him with the ending. Intercut with all of this, especially when the song mentions anything about speed or agility, are scenes of Smalls, terrified, running in a serpentine pattern, while Samson, larger and more monstrous than we've ever probably seen him, like a giant, hurls large stones and fallen trees at him. We cut back to the forest crew, laughing over tea at a campfire. Back to Smalls, terrified, running, and finally to the crew, doing a hands in and hooves in cheer, their work complete. Right as they break, we hear a blood-curdling scream as the music suddenly cuts off, and the crew rush to the edge of the forest to see Smalls crushed by a large stone, definitely dead. Vross looks devastated.
No!
Samson turns his head towards the sound and roars.
Hobos! You're mine now.
Samson begins to charge towards the woods, and Raisin and Vross scramble into position behind the ending. Samson thunders closer, slowly being herded by the spikes into the exact spot the ending is pointed.
Vross, I'm sorry about Smalls.
It's fine. There's no time now. I'm sure the loss of my childhood friend will play a large part in my future character development, or will somehow temper the joy of our hopeful future victory. Or maybe he'll never come up again. But we have bigger things to worry about now.
Fair enough. Get ready to trigger the ending.
That's a weird way to say that.
Shut up and get ready to pull the trigger.
Samson was now dead center in the crosshairs.
Fire!
Vross strains, but can't pull the massive trigger.
Fire!
I can't, it's too stiff.
Let me try.
Kuzi shoulders past Vross and strains, but also can't pull the trigger. Samson is getting closer.
Gods, I'll do it!
Raisin tries to pull the trigger, but he can't do it either. The crew is starting to panic as Samson is now dangerously close.
We have to use our abilities.
What good are those gonna do us now?
Suddenly, hooves wrap around Raisin and Vross's shoulder.
You are the only ability that each other needs. You have to do it together.
The crew makes eye contact for a brief moment. Samson is right on top of them. They all place their hands on the trigger at once and pull. The ending fires with a deep thwomp, and the gigantic bolt hits Samson directly in the chest. He roars, takes another 2 steps, and pitches forward directly onto the position of the crew and the ending, crushing the crossbow as they desperately jump out of the way to keep from being crushed. As the dust settles, Samson is lying face down on the ground, the tip of the giant crossbow bolt sticking gorily out of his back. Vross stands up, coughing, brushes dirt off, and calls out.
Raisin, Kuzi.
Raisin emerges from the dust. They run and embrace.
We did it!
We did it. You did it. It was your plan.
We all did it. Never could have done anything if you hadn't lugged that giant thing all the way from the dungeons. Or if Kuzi hadn't found friendship so that we would actually be able to cock the damn thing. Say, where is Kuzi?
Raisin and Vross look around and begin to hear a soft sobbing. As they walk around Samson's body, they see Friendship's head sticking out from under Samson's shoulder. The rest of her is crushed beneath him, and Kuzi, with arms wrapped around her neck, softly crying into her mane.
Oh, Friendship.
Raisin walks over and gently strokes Kuzi's head.
I'm sorry, little buddy. She was a good horse. Saved us all. She saved the whole kingdom.
Kuzi looks up, a small smile lighting up in his tear-streaked face.
She did, didn't she? She's a hero. A good horsey and a hero.
But wait! Friendship's not dead!
Really?
Vross waving him off.
No, I'm so sorry. Friendship the horse is definitely dead.
Kuzi begins wailing again.
Friendship, the concept, isn't dead. Still very much alive. I can see it in the way you care about Friendship the horse. Or the way you immediately went to comfort Kuzi. I can still feel it from both of you. Friendship the concept didn't die with Friendship. It's still alive, which means Samson was wrong. Samson lost. We won! And Friendship the horse wasn't some demigod personification or horseification of Friendship. She was just a talking horse. A crazy, lying, talking horse with absolutely zero sense of human attractiveness standards.
Kuzi begins wailing louder. Face to black. Interior, Montebello Keep, audience hall. A huge crowd is gathered in a richly appointed audience hall, split in two on either side of a plush red carpet. Raisin, Vross, and Kuzi walk down the carpet as the crowd politely smiles and applaud for them, and inspirational music swells. At the end of the carpet, on a raised dais, stands Princess Camilla and the two of her attendants. When the crew climbs the steps to the dais, they exchange prolonged smiles and wink with Princess Camilla. She gestures to her attendants, who each hand her a medal, which she places around the necks of Raisin and Vross, respectively. Then each attendant hands her a sack of gold, which she also hands to Raisin and Vross. The crowd begins to cheer in earnest, but are quieted at a gesture from the princess.
Our beloved hobos, you came to this kingdom as wanderers, without a place to call your home. But today you will find that you would be a welcome member of any household in this grand kingdom, including my own. You will always have a place in Montebello. We hope that you will use this gold to buy a home and become permanent members of our community.
The crowd cheers again, but Raisin and Vross seem dubious.
What about Kuzi?
Princess Camilla looks confused, but tries to keep smiling through it and waving to the crowd.
What?
What about Kuzi? There's only 2 medals and 2 sacks of gold. What about Kuzi?
Princess Camilla still looks confused and a little panicked, but keeps smiling and waving.
What are you talking about? He's not even human.
As Raisin, Vross, and Kuzi look out to the crowd, a sea of grinning human faces look adoringly back.
So, I see. Humans are the only people that can be heroes? Huh? Is that it?
Of course not. Anyone can be a hero.
We just don't get medals and gold, eh?
Princess Camilla is speechless as the crew share a meaningful look and a small nod.
You know what, Princess? I think we're gonna keep traveling around, being hobos. Keep looking for some place that smells a little nicer. Something here stinks.
But all that gold.
Ah, yes. So much gold. And we thank you for it. But we're hobos. And thanks to you, we'll be very fancy hobos indeed.
The fanciest. we may just be the three most exquisite hobos in the world.
With glance and a shared smile, they all turn their backs on the princess and walk out the way they came in. All the way out the doors, out of the keep, and down the dusty road, whistling to themselves. While Princess Camilla's smile has faded, the oblivious crowd continues cheering long after they have left. Fade to black, roll credits. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the completion of our exquisite Corpse Hobo script. Congrats to all of the writers. Yeah, job well done. Job well done. Before we end tonight's broadcast, though, I want to definitely get reactions from the writers. Thoughts on the absolute madness that just unfolded. Let's start with the first writer of this last section. Nasaka, let's start with you.
I loved hearing the pages read and seeing how that played in front of an audience. It was a lot of fun. And I really do appreciate the way like everything ties together, even though we were only working off of the last page of the previous. So yeah,
I think your part was for sure my favorite. That was some batshit crazy stuff. It was like someone had dropped lots of psychedelic drugs. Wow, what a journey. Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes.
It's amazing. Chaco, you wrote the next section. Thoughts?
Well, I wrote it for the entire, just the pun of Samson Knight. That was
Oh my God, I just got that right now.
That was my entire goal. I mean, I love the rest of it as well.
Yeah, I find writing really compelling when you're just building up to a single joke at that writing's expense. So great work there, Chaco. Amazing work. Phil, you ended our script. What did you think? What did you think about it?
Yeah, when because all I had was page 29 to work off of. That was Chaco's last page. And so I knew like some of the main characters. I knew Samson was a bad guy and was very angry and was threatening to eat them. And so that kind of informed my decision. I knew that they had abilities that were back, but I had no idea what those abilities were, which is why I kind of made them not matter. And I knew that they wanted to trigger the ending, which sounded very meta to me. And so I chose to just take it as literally as possible and make it a literal trigger on a literal giant crossbow.
And it was definitely there the entire time.
Definitely there the entire time. And I had no idea what pale horse was. So again, I made it a literal pale horse.
Great. Amazing.
And yeah, just I wrote with a lot of references and kind of fun stuff for me. Smalls was a reference to Biggs, which is Luke Skywalker's friend in the first Star Wars that blows up in the attack, and they never mention him ever again in the movies. He was also my token red shirt, who was there to die. And obviously the ending was my justice for Chewbacca at the end of the Star Wars throne scene.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful. Your commentary is amazing. A couple of things really stick out on the script for me. Friendship being definitely dead. Just an amazing part of it. I think Montebello Keep is the best name of like a castle manor that I've ever heard in my entire life. And I had no idea we were going to take it with the group is literally called the Hobos, which I didn't think was going to happen at all. But you know what? I was wrong. Thoughts, comments from anyone across the board. What did you think about the script? Maybe from some of the performers that got a chance to read and didn't write in the script. Thoughts?
This was great. I only looked for my character names when I read through it so that I could just highlight what I was doing. And once I realized that my last line for either of my characters was on like page 25, I was like, awesome. I'm not even going to read the rest. I'm just going to wait and see. And watching this was such a treat. You guys are fabulous. It was really fun.
Yeah,
Any
sorry
other-
for killing you off as our protagonist.
No, it was kind of perfect.
I do love that
It's like a very Ned Stark Game of Thrones spoilers moment where he just like, that's it.
But you just disappear into nothingness after about, 20 pages. Any other thoughts, reflections on the scripts?
I have one.
Yeah.
So it was my kind of genesis to bring this to the table, and I've tried to do this project maybe 4 or 5 times in the past, and it's never come to fruition. This is the first time we've not only completed it, but got a chance to present it out to the world. So I'm incredibly grateful to everybody in this project who really put the time in and effort and to put in some great work. And I don't know, Tony, I think we can do this again. I don't know about you, but I feel like we can get this again.
I mean, I think we can definitely do it again. I think one of the things when we move on and do the next version of it, I want to get a single word prompt from an audience member based off a suggestion on our social media. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe you could be the one to inspire our next Exquisite Hobo project. Any other last comments before we move on? No? All right. Well, we want to thank everybody who turned into this special event. We hope you had as much fun listening and watching to us as we had putting this on and writing the script. Again, we want to remind you that if you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, you can continue supporting Fancy Hobo by making donations to our company. If you'd like to make a donation, you can make them using the Venmo app. All you have to do is Venmo at Fancy Hobo Improv. Over this show and the previous show, we've had so many supporting fans over these shows, and we cannot thank you enough for your support. You are the reason that we do what we do. And we have some exciting news to share about next month's performances. Yes, starting next month, you will be able to tune in to our flagship show, the Fancy Hobo Improv Show Live, every first and third Saturday of every single month. That is right, our classical style of short form improvisation, all based on your suggestions, is now happening twice a month. So get ready, because that next show airs at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday, June 6th. That is our next show. So tune into that right here on our YouTube channel. But that is not all. Next month, we'll feature the live streaming premiere of a brand new show that we are bringing to the interwebs. That is correct. Our Dungeons and Dragons improv show, Hazards and Hijinks. That show will premiere on Saturday, June 27th at the end of the month. So tune in and join our heroes on their adventure based on your suggestions. From all of us here at Fancy Hobo, thank you for your continued support. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at Fancy Hobo. And if you want to take some classes to learn how to do some improvisation, you can sign up for that. Just look for the posts on any of our social media and we can get you signed up, but do it quickly because spots are filling up and we only have a few more of those left. Again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Until next time, Fancy Hobo signing off. Good night, everybody.